The older I'm getting, I really don't think true love, how everyone perceives it or like explains it, is real. Like I feel like love is much more of a choice than anything. Like the older I'm getting, I'm realizing that every person that I like idolize or person that have like a perception of, right? Like I think this person is like this, and this, and then I kind of ignore the other negative stuff, right? Or I'm placing these things on you like I love that you did this, or I want you to do this, or I want you to behave like this, and I'm putting these expectations on people. That's not really what love is. I feel like love for me, the older I'm getting, is choosing to meet you where you're at and seeing you for who you actually are versus seeing you for who I want you to be, or only the positive, right? Like let's say you love like you're talking to someone, right, and you love them or whatever relationship it is, and you notice a negative part. I feel like a lot of the times we can be like, ew, I don't like that part, or I can ignore this, and then that's not what I love about them or whatever. But I feel like true undenying love is the choice to love them for their ups and their downs and their positives and their negatives, right? Like I can choose to meet you where you're at, and I can choose to be positive in my head and not damn you to like you can't act like this or you don't have my love. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not to say that you participate in negative stuff all the time, you know what I'm saying? But like let's say your mom, right? You love your mom, but whenever she doesn't want to improve herself, right? Then you're like, okay, well, I really hate this part of her, and it causes you to feel this deep rage, or it makes you feel like I don't love her in this moment, or I don't love that part of her. If you can meet people where they're at and be like, okay, is this a trait that I want? No. But can I overall love you for it anyways? Yes. Do you know what I'm saying? Because love is really just accepting that people are going to be where they're at and not forcing your ideas on people. I feel like, especially for me, I want to force my ideas on a lot of people because I feel like my ideas would lead you to a happier life. But forcing your ideas on someone, it's like I saw this one thing, this one quote where it was like, um people can only receive information at the frequency they vibrate at, like something like that, where it's like someone can only receive information if they were already open and susceptible to that information, right? Like you're never, if you're me and you are having a conversation and I change your perspective on something, I'm not really changing your mind. You were already open to it and you were already almost there by yourself. I'm just the means that which helped it actualize outwardly, right? Like if someone's a different religion than you or someone has a different political view or something like that, you're not arguing off of facts and logic. You're arguing based off of a identity perception that they have, and it's emotionally charged, right? So I can't argue with someone that is a religion that I'm not, because it's not like we're both coming at it unbiased and we're open to change, right? A lot of people aren't open to change. They want to cling on to what they think makes their identity whole. And if, for example, they change their religion, they don't know how to handle their identity shifting or their identity crumbling and then building anew, right? Um, so I feel like a lot of the times in relationships, we're always putting these expectations on people and these ideas on people of like who we want their identity to be, to best suit us. And the more I'm growing older, I'm really trying to open myself up and really just accept people where they're at, right? Like if someone's telling me something, right? And I could give them advice to help fix that situation. If they're the kind of person that doesn't have introspection like I do and always want to evolve and fix themselves and improve the situation, me giving them that advice, while I can say it's loving and I can say it's from love because it is, it's also still from a selfish, egotistical desire to make them change and make them agree with me, right? But if they're just a person that wants to wallow in it, or they're in a phase of their life where they're not really that introspective and they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it and move on. the love that I feel like a lot of people do is they'll create a friction, they'll create anger, they'll create resentment, they'll argue with the person, they'll want to not talk to the person or whatever it is, right? And there's a friction when you can't give them that advice. You're getting frustrated. You're like, oh, like I need to be able to change your mind. I feel like real, true, undenying love is just accepting them for where they're at. It's like, is this the way you should be going about this situation? Absolutely not. Am I going to create friction and try and overpower you and force my idea on you? Also not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just accepting that people have positives and negatives, like me as well, right? Like if someone only loves me because of stuff I can provide when I'm happy and positive, or they only love me being happy and funny and positive, but they can't love me for when I'm upset or when I'm sad or when I'm lost, that's not really love. And I feel like maybe humans don't, like, we've been programmed to not necessarily love the negative parts of people, so everyone has to play this role of like we're all okay, we're all sound, we're all good, do you know what I'm saying? Or we're all negative, we're all upset, and that's what it is. It's like the two polarities, and it's there's not really a good in between most of the time, and I'm really trying to stick on the in between of like I can love people for their positives, but I can also love them for their negatives because their negatives still contribute to their positives, right? Like if I'm talking to someone that I love and they don't handle stuff well or whatever, right? Like I want them to change because I know it could better their life. Me loving you where you're at and accepting where you're at and not letting that frustrate me because I don't need to explain to you an answer that you'll come to on your own, or you won't, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's more the pure like I'm accepting you for who you are type of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of people, and myself included, put these labels on people, and like that's why we can't forgive people, right? Because okay, you did this, and instead of me understanding that this is just where you are in life and this is just how you are, you didn't necessarily choose to be there, right? Like I've had certain things in my life that have made me the person I am. You're whoever has had certain stuff that made them the person they are. So if you can't accept negative traits of someone that they didn't ask to have, right? Like just because they're not doing the introspection to fix it, that doesn't mean they still wanted to behave that way, or they wanted to act that way, or they wanted to not be necessarily as ambitious as you, or they didn't want to change their life as much as you do, or whatever, right? I don't now need to demonize that person and now say I don't love you or whatever. And love and having access to you are two different things, right? Like you can love someone and not have access to them, but the older I'm getting, I'm realizing that undenying love of like, or not that, what is that word? It would be like choosing to love people for where they are is a lot better for me personally, because even if I don't really want to talk to you because we don't align, I can still genuinely just love you for the person that you are and the part that you've played in my life. Like everyone has a part that they play. So I feel like it would also be a lot easier for people to have friendships and relationships with people that they're not meshing with that well right now because they're not super same. Like people want people that are the same as them and that they're as healed as they are, or they do things this way. But I feel like it's really messing up a lot of connections because the older I'm getting, and now that I'm just choosing to love people for where they are and not trying to change everyone to fit my mold, I'm able to have a lot of different kinds of relationships, right? Like there's obviously going to people be the people that you're super close to and you love talking to every day, but there's also the people that are going out friends and it's fun for that. Or there's also people that are complaining friends and it's fun for you guys to complain. There's also people that's good for just specific hobbies and specific conversations, and you're able to not like use people as objects, but you're like allowing yourself to just have the relationship for what it is versus you're trying to control the narrative every single time. And it's like, if this narrative can't be this, like if we're not absolute best friends conjoined at the hips, I can't talk to you. That's not love. You're not loving your friends that are even conjoined at your hips and you're really talking to, because if they break outside of that and they have a spurt of independence and they want to do this, or they're with their boyfriend or they're with their girlfriend or whatever, um your love is not wavering, your love is changing. But if you came into situations trying to be like, okay, I love people for who they are and I'm not going to have this like this need to change people or this need to control the outcome, as long as they're nice to me, that's all good, and we can just continue to see what the relationship brings. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people bring way too many negative connotations or negative storylines or whatever, when really you can just chalk it up to accepting people as who they are, right? Like if someone that you like talking to has a trait or they don't handle situations exactly how you were, instead of getting yourself conjoined and wrapped up in it and like, I need to talk to them about this and I need to give them this advice, and if they don't change it, I don't want to talk to them and blah blah blah. You can just accept like, hey man, it doesn't affect me. Okay, if you want to live your life like that, that's your problem. If I'm going to live my life how I want to live my life, you know what I'm saying? And then you still love them for what that is. Because for me, it was really big of like, if we don't handle stuff exactly the same, I really can't stand talking to you, right? Now, when someone brings me a problem that is very easily fixable, like I can give you the step, I'm realizing, okay, this isn't where they are. This isn't what they need. They don't need me to try and force this down their throat. I like talking to you. You're a nice person. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a listening ear. If you need a tiny bit of advice, okay, cool. If not, whatever. Let's keep it pushing. And you can have so many better relationships and just experience so much more positivity in your life when you're not selfishly attaching yourself to so many ideas and entitlement of like, you need to handle stuff exactly how I handle it, and if you don't, you're absolutely wrong. Like you just have to let people have their own experiences and their own ideas and their own perspectives. You can't force someone's mind to open and for them to always want exactly what you want, and that it's not a negative. Like people are different, people have different life experiences, and it would just be so much more, it would be so much better if people just stop trying to have this love with so many conditions. Like I can choose to love you and I can choose to accept all the parts of you, the good and the bad, um and then just keep it at that. But you don't have, and you can still restrict access. Like I love you, but this, when you do this, it negatively affects me, or this negatively affects me, so I'm not going to talk to you, but I still love you regardless, and it's just better for everyone involved. Now you're not having nasty resentment towards people, you're not being mean to people because they aren't doing what you want to do, but you're also allowing yourself to enjoy the parts of life where it's like you're meeting people and you're talking to people that have different perspectives, or you're talking to fun people but they might not do the same thing that you do, when handling a situation, or have the same perspective as you do and stuff like that. Like having people that are different religions or different political parties or whatever, like you're letting the experience be what it is, versus you're trying to control people and make them robots of like they have to do every single thing that I do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was just kind of a little rant because I feel like I've it just grown so much recently of like understanding that love is more of a choice, and it's a choice if I want to love someone or I want to love them in a controlled lens of like, I only love you if A, B, and C. Do you know what I'm saying? But now it's like I love you for A through Z, and then I determine your access that you have to me based off of certain things. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, it's still a much more positive way to come at life. Um, because you're not trying to control people, you're just letting the experience be what the experience is, versus you're trying to have specific limiters and specific parameters for what this experience needs to be for it to be considered good. You know what I'm saying?